Hi traders, welcome back. Today I wanted to do a deeper dive into how I'm trading. I know I haven't been showing live trades on this Apex PA account. It's not really my goal here. I'm not here to flex on whether I get payouts or not. I'm still going through this journey like everybody else. The journey is always evolving. What I wanted to show you was how I'm using AI to help me trade. I basically use it as a one-on-one coach every step along the way. And I've been doing this off and on for the past year, maybe, but really gotten heavy into it as of late. And I think it just helps me a lot stay removed from my emotions and stay a little bit more systematic. So, with that, let's kind of get into what I've got going on here. So, you can see I've got my chart open over here. This is the 1 minute chart. And I pasted a picture over here with Gemini. So then I prompt it with, hey, this isn't really my trade, just showing you where the levels are at. It helps me come back to earth a little bit and says, okay, this is testing you because you're nowhere near where you need the divergence, the stochastics to be, right? Um, so it's really good at drawing my attention to things that I may or may not be noticing, but keep me very much in the moment, in the present. It shouldn't feel rushed if it's your only one. What I'm doing with this account is a single trade. I get one trade only. So when I keep that mindset of, hey, I only get one trade, is this my trade for the whole day? And it has drastically changed my trading because through that lens, you feel a lot less rushed. You feel a lot less need to take a chance. So this is just a screenshot tool that I'm using here to take this screenshot, copying and pasting the updated chart in here. One thing about AI is it doesn't have access to live data, right? That's CME data, as we've talked about. So what this is doing is just, hey, here's what it looks like. We're up near this resistance zone in the 69.56 level, and it's looking like it could be a double top for a push lower. Now, if you notice, I do have something new in this indicator. This is an update I'm working on and testing. But that bullish bias up at the top that says daily status, that is a 50 SMA on the daily time frame. So I use that to help drive my direction for the day. If that is above the 50-day SMA, I should be looking for longs. If it's below, I should be looking for shorts, regardless of my 1 minute time frame down here to this level. So I'm typing all of that in here. I'll fast forward through these prompts so you can kind of get the idea, but not need to watch me type this all out. But obviously, I've got here that the stocks are in overbought territory, right? This is looking like it could be setting up for a double top and then a push lower. The only issue here is that this is a bullish bias, and I'm looking for shorts. So it's saying you've correctly identified key structural background. Price is pushing into that resistance zone. The 50-day SMA is bullish. Market analysts describe today as a quiet open after a wild week, right? It keeps me a little more grounded. Oh, and then it's got my catalyst watch on here. So I get to see which big news events are coming that might affect what is going on in the market without having to go and search everywhere. It's just going to do that for me. Then it's got a pre-trade gate that I've trained it with. So this is that I can't short the first green candle into the zone. Want to see consolidation or a double top, right? I need to ensure that all four stochastics are in good spots. And the trigger, of course, my 9 EMA, it has to cross over and close below that. So then it's got mandatory risk check for me. Again, I'm in this Apex PA account. I've got a hard cap $187 loss limit on there. And so I have to trade that way. If I need to adjust my stop loss, that means that I need to reduce my size. It's just simple if this, then that. It's systematic and it takes the emotion out of it. I'm also only looking for A setups. So I'm not interested in, these single kind of bounces. That's not my trade right now. I'm trying to stay vigilant and only find one good trade per day. So you can see it's got just great to pull me back into the now, what's going on with this trade, and stay present in this trade. And if it grinds higher and never gives you the 1 minute cross, there is no trade, right? It's keeping me very, very grounded here. So love that. I'll give you guys just a second here to read anything else that you want to pull from this screen just to get an idea of what I'm doing here and what I use it for. This is a Gemini custom gem that I have trained and created. Uh, don't overthink it, guys. All I'm doing to create a gem is prompting Gemini with a very long conversation to say, I want you to give me an instruction set for building this gem. And I named it Ray Dalio initially. I've just called it Ray now. But it's I'm a day trader, I'm a scalper, I trade futures. This is my strategy, and I talk about the quad rotation. I give it all of this information around the quad rotation so that it knows how I trade and can advise me to that. But I also have it focus on mindset and what I need to stay away from emotionally. So I'm basically calling out to it my weaknesses, saying I struggle with impatience. I think the first opportunity that comes up in the market is oftentimes my last, and I just got to jump on it. So I get FOMO. I let it know all of this so that it can guide me away from those situations, and it's just done a fantastic job. So we're still waiting for the market to unfold here a little bit, and I'll just skip through this until we're getting closer to the short. Okay, we're getting a lot closer here. You can see I'm on the 1 minute time frame here. Looks like that's playing with crossing over and closing below the 9 EMA. But taking a screenshot here to show Ray what it's looking like. So I let it know it's looking like it's setting up as a double top. I might be looking for a close below that 9 EMA. Stocks are looking good too. I'm going to mark out my short position here that I'd be looking at if it crossed below that 9 EMA. I'm looking at the 69.60 zone as my stop loss. And then I'd probably take this one down to the bottom of that structure there, around this 69.44. It's right past the point of control, right? So back over here, Ray is saying, okay, the double top is the high value structure that you've been waiting for, especially since price is interacting with that zone often. Quad rotations, signature price attempting a second price movement, right? We like that. Resistance has been correctly identified, the volume profile, high interest node. It's all great. It's looking great here. So now it's taking me through my pre-trade gate, my mandatory risk check. It says because you're in this, you like this level, we must lock in the math before the trigger hits to avoid feeling rushed, right? And so it's trying to remove this emotion. Must be above the highest wick of the current double top formation, and the risk calculation would go like this. So it's saying I can use 5 contracts here and still maintain, that I have to use less than 5 contracts here, because 5 contracts and a 40 tick stop loss, which is where it should be, would put me in $250 a drawdown. So I didn't actually show you my live trade here, but I did take this trade right as it closes, and I'll tell you where I went wrong. I went in right there on that candle, and it did close right at the 9 EMA, but you actually see it was a black candle. It was a bullish candle, not a bearish candle. And so even though it closed maybe right on the 9 EMA, I broke a rule because I should have waited for it to close below the 9 EMA. And that hasn't really happened as of yet. So I can tell you this trade did not go my way. But I'll let you watch here as it plays out. Back over here to Ray. So it told me to size down to 3 contracts. I did do that. I actually think I ended up going with 4 contracts and a little bit tighter stop loss than what he said there. Still maintaining the $187 loss limit, daily loss limit. But admittedly, I entered here with a little bit of emotion, right? I saw that it was below the 9 EMA, almost touching the VWAP. I got anxious. And what is the execution trigger here that Ray is telling me? Wait for the candle. Do not anticipate the drop. You need a 1-minute candle to close below the 9 EMA. And then your one trade check. Is this the A grade setup you want to stake your entire day on? If it grinds higher and breaks the 69.66 level, the double top is invalidated and we stay flat. Are you ready to size down to 3 contracts to honor your structural stop? Or is this stop tight enough for 5? And it was. Told you I went 4. And then it even asks if I wanted to have it calculate the exact profit for a base hit. Base hit for me is the 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. And it will ask me as I'm going through here, what is your exit plan for today? And one thing that I've noticed is my exit plan has always been a little bit how I'm feeling, and that has really really hurt my stats because I just don't have good structured rules around it. I look at 1-to-1, but I'll let it keep running, or I can be on the flip side and I let fear take control and think it's $200, I got to take it. Both situations are driven from an emotional place at that point. And so what I've done is now just kept it to I have to make that decision before I've entered. And a lot of times that's hard. That's hard for me to come to terms with. This trade, as you can see, is now completely invalidated, continued higher. In fact, the whole day trended higher. It was a trending bullish day. So I broke 2 rules here that I need to call out. One, that did not break the 9 EMA, and I shouldn't have had a valid entry. And 2, I am not following the 50-day SMA bullish bias that I have incorporated into my trading strategy. And that's as simple as that. I don't need to judge myself harshly. I don't need to beat myself up about it, but I need to stick to my rules. And when they don't work, it just makes it very apparent that I've done something wrong. So that's all I have for today. I will catch you in the next one, and I'll keep working on my other series.